So the first set of runners are on the track. I want to believe this would be kindergarten to grades 2 about to get started. So any moment now they'll get on the way. They have started this year where they normally finish at the back of the, well, this would be the front of the school. Normally they start at the back. So they're starting at the front of the school, and we'll wait and see where they go in terms of the baton passes. There's a slight drizzle on here. Seems as if I'll have to make up my mind to get some wet today. Hoping that the rain doesn't fall too hard. And the longer they stay to start, the more likely the rain will come down. There seems to be a hold-up of sorts. Maybe waiting to ascertain that the other baton stations are ready and in place. Teachers have gone to the various baton stations. The drizzle increases and we wait. We have 3 houses represented: red, green, and blue. You can easily identify the athletes by their color. Sometimes that's very difficult, especially when the athletes are dressed in black, but not today. So just about to get started. The anxious parents are around as well, and we see the coach is just about to get. Red House having the horns blaring for them. So Red House still leading at this point. Red House looking back, and maybe not in her best interest to look back. Blue closing the gap slightly, and we have green not out of it at all. So when this baton is passed and red deciding I want to push out because blue is closing the gap, when this baton is passed, it still could be pretty close. And the students have come to this side of the field to have a close look. And the baton has been passed. Red House athlete out of the block, looking very quick indeed, but being chased by blue. And look at the children, they have come on this side to have a close look at what's going on. The excitement mounts as parents and teachers and students, but red seems to be particularly quick. Red is moving along nicely, but I think wear and tear now, hitting home, reality check. She's tiring. Blue House seems to be closing the gap, but green is not out of it. Green has turned the bend, and green is looking good from this distance. Now we see red struggling now as blue overtakes. So with all the burst of speed and getting the lead initially, blue has overtaken red, and green seems to be tired as well, but I wouldn't say she's out of it, because red seems as if she's inclined to walk. She's looking back and not looking forward at blue. So red in second, but red seems to be struggling. Red is looking back. Blue, sorry, that's blue tiring now. Blue wants to walk as well. Blue, what is blue doing? Blue looked back as if she wanted to give up the baton. And well, red has closed the gap on her, because red is being encouraged, but blue pulls out again, getting some encouragement on the bend. And so I think they'll be heading back to the school, but I think there's at least one more pass coming up. Blue has regained momentum, passes off now, Out of the blocks goes this blue athlete. She looks like Speedy Gonzalez's first cousin. There she goes with the baton in her left hand and getting some encouragement too. Parents getting into the mix. Blue looking quick. Maybe there's another baton pass before they get to the school. So far, looking really quick, but she's looking back too. So somebody's asking for Princess. Princess probably in red because no, Princess maybe, yes, Princess in red. Blue moving along nicely, and parents not doing too well, except this mommy, I think here, mommy barefooted and all, looking strong. She's literally pulling her along, not touching her but pulling her along. Well, we're gonna make a left turn as the rain comes down. I don't know if the rain is going to bother them. It's bothering me, but I don't know how much it's going to bother them as the drizzle increases. Thought they were going to head straight to the school, but they've made a left turn, and I think parent running alongside the Blue House athletes, and the parent running alongside the Red House athletes. They just have to make sure that they don't touch them. They could talk as much as they want, but just don't touch the athletes. But here's the final baton pass, I think, coming up. Final baton pass coming up. Here is the final baton pass. Blue anxious to get it out of her hand. She does exactly that. Look at this burst of energy. She has to be a 100-meter specialist, but guess what? So too is the Red House athlete. We have a race on here, folks. We have two sprinters, two obvious sprinters. Red looking really quick. Blue slowing up badly now. After that initial burst. Now they're encouraging. Parents are in the mix. Blue turns the corner now. Daddy wants to video record, but he's not going to run too fast. He's going to keep his distance. Stay safe. Blue tiring somewhat. Red tiring as well. So Red also had a burst of energy trying to catch up and getting encouragement as well. But Blue tiring. Red is close enough to create a bit of an upset. Does she have the energy though? That is the big question. Maybe, maybe not. May not have the energy. Encouragement. More encouragement. Well, they're giving the encouragement, letting her know what she knows, that Red come. Telling her that Red come. She knows that Red come. So Blue, holding on for the moment. Jillian in the mix. How long will Jillian hold on? The crossing guard getting in the mix as she usually does. And let's see who turns the bend first, because Blue is trying to hold on. Blue is tiring though, badly, but maybe the cheers now as they go up will make a difference. She knows she's not far from the finish line. Look at the audience on the inside of the gate. Blue gets energy. Blue gets energy, but then it isn't a lot. Yes, she's struggling. She's getting the encouragement here. Getting the encouragement. Here she comes. I think she's going to hold on. She will hold on. And here she comes. Blue brings it home to the cheers, to hugs. Real excitement. And Green will take second place. She's being waved in. And Red House, not far out of it either. She would have done a pretty good run. So Green takes second, Red third. Race completed, very good run indeed. So the athlete, she did give it her all. And just recuperating now. Now it will be the turn of the boys, and they'll be getting out of the blocks momentarily. So, kindergarten to grade 2 boys, they're out of the blocks. The sun holding up momentarily. And we have Grey House is represented again in this one. Well, the rain is coming down a little harder, but rain is not going to stop this race. And so we'll just have to try to endure for as long as possible. Green leading the way for the moment, and red and blue close to each other. Green pulling away slightly, getting some encouragement. This is, he wants to see Remy Gums. That means that's young Remy Gums. Remy seems to be struggling somewhat, but I guess he's going to hold on. It's Remy and Green coming along nicely, and his dad Remy is right there. Like I said, I don't know how long Remy's gonna hold on, but Remy and Gums it is seem to be tiring now, and Remy's telling him just to cruise. He's holding his tummy, seems to be under some pressure here. Remy seems determined to hold on here. I think he needs some help though, in terms of making it to the pass-off station. He's trying to tell him to hold on. Well, I think he's going to get some help now. He is a real athlete. He's going to encourage him. I think Remy can now cool out and relax. But Remy still wants to go along. And here he comes. Still moving along nicely. Blue House closing the gap. Ramian decides, well, if he's closing the gap, I'm going to pull away. Finally passes off the button. So he has made it. He has done it. He has done exactly what was required of him. And the greenhouse athlete has gone out of the blocks like a rocket. Blue is trying to catch up. The excitement mounts as the students and some parents come alongside, watching closely. Another would-be athlete hits the track to encourage the greenhouse athlete. Let's see how long he can hold on, because these guys wouldn't have been training all year, and they become athletes on the day of the race, and these young athletes would have been training for this, and that's where the problem sometimes comes in. We see some females as well at the back trying to encourage. Well, there's one female encouraging the Blue House athlete, and there's a male encouraging the Red House athlete. And the greenhouse athlete struggling a lot here now. Seems to be under some pressure. Being encouraged. The Blue House athlete looks back and would see the Red House athlete is close. So here comes Green getting some encouragement. Green coming downhill now. This should make a difference. He should be able to cruise, and he's pushing out nicely. His baton station is coming up right here. He would have done his job very well indeed, holding the lead all the way to the baton station. Passes off now, a little pause, and then the greenhouse athlete literally races down the hill. Blue and red haven't passed off as yet, and he is pushing like a jet plane. There we go, says teacher. She's green, all green, and it's still green. My goodness, green storms away. This is a green race. Green storms away. And in the corner now, red and that's red and blue, I guess. Even though the colors look a little different, but it's still green. Splashing a little water in the process. Still holding on to a lead here. Green. Still being seen. And we see blue and then red in third. And some of the outstanding athletes from Nevis giving some guidance here. I'm seeing Glenn, but Glenn is not running this here at all. Glenn is in park. Maybe he'll get busy a little later when his athlete gets on the track. But it's green. Hope that Glenn would have done some training this year. Green seems to be struggling somewhat now. and it's a bad time to struggle going downhill. Red and blue have closed the gap nicely. Thought it would have been a runaway race really, but I don't think it will be, depending on the speed of the Red House and Blue House athletes, depending on who they have. If this greenhouse athlete doesn't really fly on this lead that he has, they could be in some trouble. He seems to have a damaged hand, but that has nothing to do with his feet going along nicely, smoothly. And so now Red House turns the corner. How quick is Red? That is the question. That is the question. How quick is Red? And then Blue looks quicker than all of the others. But we'll see what happens. Green though, he might not be the quickest, but he looks determined. He's holding his own for now. Let's see if red and blue can pull it back. Blue looks quick and he's closing the gap on red and seems to be holding his own. Green now seems to be struggling. Nathaniel is the name being called. Nathaniel the Prophet now struggling slightly with red and blue, making waves behind him. And you see the anxious parents and teachers, they're here giving the encouragement. And here's Greenhouse athlete turning the corner now. And he's struggling. Somebody's telling them that Green wants help. It's as if he really needs some help here. He's struggling. Where's Red? Can Red close the gap? No. Can Blue close the gap? Well, let's go. Red is the screen. Blue, well, Green, as she turns the corner to loud cheers. And they don't realize that Blue is making waves. It could be a close finish. It could be a close finish. It could be a close finish. Blue and Red closing the gap with Green struggling. Green really struggling here. Green struggling. They're telling Red and Blue they can catch up. Green is struggling. Green is struggling badly. Green is struggling badly here. Blue closing the gap. Blue closing the gap. Blue closing the gap. Blue closing the gap. Blue does more than that. What a finish by Blue. What a finish by Blue. Fantastic race that. Oh, that was a fantastic race. That Blue House athlete is a champion and a half. And maybe we could get a name of that athlete, Rivers. What's the name of that little Blue athlete?
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel is the name. The Prophet Nathaniel brought it home for Blue. Well, it's now the turn of the grades 3 and 4 girls. And they should be getting out of the blocks shortly. Grades 3 and 4 girls. So they're ready to get out of the blocks. Three athletes represented. Red, blue, and green. Just have to look for the color of the buttons in this case. They're out of the blocks. Blue looking really quick, but red cruising and getting closer. Red doesn't seem to be exerting as much energy, but well, they're going to get some assistance now in terms of on the track. So moving along nicely for the moment. And the person at the top has to be an athlete trying to encourage the group. She's getting the encouragement. Telling us, oh, closing the gap is red. A little bit of a cluster there in the corner. And coming down the hill now. And the red has taken the lead. It's not a big lead. Nothing to write home about as yet. But for the moment, red is in the lead. And the other two athletes are close behind. So it's still an intriguing race. lots of excitement.
Let's go, baby!
Some parents getting a bit upset, asking the Blue House athlete to keep running. She seems to be slowing up. Yeah, as per usual. They have a lot of athletes on the track. There's Mommy trying to hold her own. Mommy trying to hold her own. The Red House. As the rain comes down now. We have some issues with the traffic. Mommy still holding her own. Mommy has to be, she had to be an athlete. Mommy looks good. She's holding her own, barefooted and all. Well, she'll pass off that button just now. She moved and made a circle. So it's a circular race. They'll come right back to where they started. And out of the blocks goes Red. As the rain comes down, Red holding her own. And so Red leading by a good distance now. Blue is moving along like a good athlete, as if she's going to close the gap because Red is tiring, and Blue, her hair waving in the rain, waving in the breeze. Still moving along nicely. And more encouragement here. Telling her to run, as if she's walking, she's running actually. Maybe they should say run faster. But she can't run any faster because she's tired. Her shoestrings seem to be a little loose. She needs to be careful with that. And the screams go up and the excitement mounts. Blue came out of the blocks quickly but is tiring badly. The fans normally not aware that the camera is on them. The kind of antics that they have, they only see it after the fact.
Come, Brianna, come!
Brianna is in it. As Carl gets in the mix. Carl is encouraging Brianna. But Brianna is tired. Blue House actually, or green, whichever one it is, she's tired too. It's green. But she has gained some momentum. Somebody has told her that she can catch up because Red is struggling badly. Red is struggling badly. Maybe Carl didn't have the influence that he wanted to have because since Carl has gone there, she has slowed up badly. But Blue is closing the gap. Green has shut down. Green is being encouraged, but she has shut down. It is Blue making waves. Brianna now trying to fight back. Glenn is running. Glenn did it last time and Glenn burnt out. But Glenn maybe was training this year because Glenn is still brave enough to be running. So let's hope that Glenn is okay this year. For the moment, Glenn is holding his own. Glenn is holding his own. As we lose sight of them as the van makes the turn. So we have lost sight of Glenn. And the athlete. Lots of excitement. Where's Glenn? Where's the athlete? Glenn is coming through. Glenn has led his athlete to the batting station. Glenn has done well this year. He must have been training. As Blue, he lifts her off her feet, congratulating her. And Blue making waves way out front. Nobody in sight as yet. The baton is yet to be passed. But with this burst of energy, who knows if she's going to burn out and then the others might do some catching up. But for the moment, doesn't seem as if there's any chance of that. Blue House, well, there's Red. Looking quick, but is a good distance behind. So, here she comes.
Let's go, princess. Let's go.
Still looking pretty strong. As she's gonna take the hill now. Should be able to cruise a bit. But I think red is somewhere in the mix. As the rain holds off for the moment. They did say 40% chance of rain. But it looks as if all the 40% is coming since the races started. It's hoping for a little bit of a break. Princess is the name. Princess getting a lot of encouragement. And Princess looking cool. You must say she's large and in charge because the others haven't started to catch up as yet. So Princess is large and in charge. And this is a good practice for Charlestown Primary because the historic inaugural Inter-Primary Road Relay comes up on Friday. They are having their race today, so this is good. You'll be seeing Princess again and the others. Princess doing well. Princess leading. The Red House athlete being encouraged by Carl is a distance away. The excitement mounts. Somebody says you soon reach. That looks like Sandra Liebert. She is a former champion netballer. And as we lose sight of the athletes once more. So let's see when they turn that bend. They make the bend. Lose sight of them. As we have a close-up look at the back station area where the bulk of the spectators are. They are waiting anxiously to see who will pass off the baton first. So Blue will do that just about now because Blue is leading. And Blue passes off the bat now. And there's Blue out of the blocks. Looking quick. And normally that burst of energy is what you need to give yourself a good lead. Even if you burn afterwards, at least that lead would hold you in good stead. And for the moment, that lead is holding her in good stead. She's leading by a long distance. Doing very well for the moment. And still Blue, all Blue. She's going to make that turn momentarily. It's all Blue. She starts to come down the hill now. She looks very strong indeed. You'll watch her and see she's a very strong athlete. The fan club waving and the excitement mounts. So here she is, Blue House athlete. She looks particularly strong. She hasn't really slowed up as yet. So she's doing very well. Pretty, who goes to almost all of the sports, is there. Don't know who she's supporting in this one. Can't be Blue. She doesn't show any interest in Blue. So here she comes. Looking really strong. She has done this leg really well. She has done this leg really well. Carl not happy because he can't find his Red House athlete. Can't find his Red House athlete. The red supporters seem very disappointed. Lots of red supporters here, but it's Blue who is making waves. Blue has done a really good leg. She hasn't shown any real tiredness. She has done this leg with some. You have to look for this athlete on Friday. She's really strong. Whoever is running against this athlete on Friday would have their work cut out. Some of the athletes are a little stressed for the moment. There's Headmistress Paris doing her. It seems that that was the end of the race. Headmistress Paris is doing her medical duties. So that was the end of the race, right? That's where the race ended. So we'll see who comes in second. Blue has taken it and waiting for the other athletes. There's the Red House athlete just getting home to take the silver, and we're waiting on the final athlete. They're looking anxiously to see the final athlete. Just need to verify the grades 5 and 6 route would be the same, or is it further longer? Same. So grades 5 and 6 will be doing the same route as well. But I think it will be a little faster. Now the excitement mounts as the athlete comes closer. She would have done a good run, but she got it a distance back, so she couldn't catch up. As she comes in now to the finish line, she would have done well, greeted by a parent, I would assume. And so that's the end of that particular race. We have now the boys. It's the grades 3 and 4 boys. Their turn now to make history, to create records. And they're out of the blocks. Let's see who is leading. Well, for the moment, Blue has a slight lead. And emphasis on slight. Nothing slight about the driving of the police officer though. I have to be holding on carefully here. So we have the Blue House athlete leading for the moment.
There we go, Zani!
We're here in Zani. So there's a Zani in this one.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go!
And when you don't know the name, you say let's go. So red closing in on blue. Somebody's asking for greenhouse. So blue takes back the lead, deciding that to tell red, boy, this is my race, I'm not going to let you take control of this. So blue still leading for the moment. Blue, it is going to make a turn just about now. The drizzle continues unabated. Matter of fact, it's increasing again now that the race has started. But for the moment, Blue House still leading. Red is in second. And green languishing in third. We have some other parents and guardians here in the mix. Getting involved, doing some encouragement. Red closing the gap on blue. So the Red House supporters really anxious here. Even Carl is hustling. Blue still holding on to that lead. Blue holding on to that lead. Can Red close the gap? My goodness. My goodness. Look at Miss Fobbs. Miss Fobbs is holding her own. Well, I don't know if she's gonna make it up the hill. But Miss Fobbs seems to be holding her own. Where's Miss Fobbs? Has she burnt out? She's made it almost to the finish line, almost to the batting station. Blue passes off first, and the Blue House athlete rushes out of the blocks, but Red has gotten the baton, and Red has decided he's going to do some chasing here. And Red looks particularly strong, I can tell you. Red looks really strong. Oh, there are lots of screaming. Screams. And it's all about support, support, support. And if you can't run, you scream. Scream for as long as you can. And say, let's go. So Blue, somebody's telling him that the Red House is behind him, but I think he knows that. I think he can't stop that because Red is closing the gap and he's struggling badly. So Blue's struggling badly here now. Red alongside him virtually. And the Blue determined, but can't seem to be able to hold on. Blue is giving up. Blue is holding his side and being told that the batting station is near, but he has stopped for the moment. He seems to be crying. And Red has burnt him out. Definitely Red has burnt him out. And they're holding him up, but I don't think they should hold him. Maybe he needs to catch himself a little bit. And somebody's saying greenhouse. Green has gone past Blue. Green trying to get back in the mix. Red, Carl would be happy with this. Leading for the moment. And all the Red House supporters are bouncing now. There's a bounce in the Red. Little bounce in Red because Red is leading for the moment. And telling him to head to the battle station. That's where he's headed. Carl trying to encourage. Somebody's going to look for their child. Yeah. We're going to get the baton passed off in a moment. Or is this a finish? I think the baton is going to be passed off here. Or is it the finish? Pass it off. Baton is passed off. So, it's Red House leading the way. Green has taken the baton and is really pushing hard. Red already seems to be struggling. And if Red is struggling like this, with the way Green is going to take this lead with ease. Green looks certain of overtaking Red. Red is getting some encouragement, but Green seems to be burning out somewhat now. With that burst of energy to start, he seems to have burnt out somewhat. Red seems to be holding on for the moment. He looks back and being told not to look back because Green, he knows, is right on his heel. So Green closing the gap. Can Green take this one? Green is closing the gap. They're giving both athletes some encouragement. Red gets the encouragement and tries to hold on. Green determined. He still haven't seen the blowout athlete. So that means that he might have given up totally. So Red and Green. Red and Green. The sun comes out thankfully now. We are getting some sunshine for the first time in a long time. Somebody says Mia. Mia it is. Somebody says Mia. But Green holding on. Red burnt out now. Green is in the lead. But Red trying to come back with the encouragement. Red is trying to come back. Red, Carl is trying to get him to move. Everybody giving encouragement to their various athletes. So, we have lost sight of the athletes for the moment. And Red is trying to make somebody fell down. The Red House athlete fell down. I don't know if somebody cut across him, but the Red House athlete was just pulled back to his feet. Definitely fell down and was dragged back to his feet in a hurry. So, where is he? Who is leading? Green has held on. Green has held on. Red is coming through, but Green will pass off that baton first. And Red is going to get the baton just now, so it could be a good push to the finish. Green looks strong for starters, but they normally look that way, strong for starters. Red is looking really strong too, and Red is already closing the gap. Red already closing the gap here. So let's see if Green can hold on. Red seems to be burnt out slightly now. Red is languishing somewhat. Somebody says let's go Greenhouse. Greenhouse is holding on to that lead just for the moment. And just for the moment he's holding on. Looks as if Red House has burnt out somewhat. So Red House has certainly burnt out. He has dropped back badly. He was a lot closer earlier. But I think when Carl and the others get on his case, well, that supporter is really waving him on. It's Green leading the way. Green has a comfortable lead, I must say, at this point. That lead looks really comfortable. And Red being encouraged now. Jackie is in the mix. Jackie's Red House. And so Jackie's encouraging. For the moment, Green leading. Carl says not so easy, man. He wants him to run, to catch up. But for the moment, it's all Green. But I thought Jackie was on red. Jackie's running with a red shirt alongside the green athlete. That's interesting. So this might be the final leg. And Jackie is gonna push up the hill with the athlete for as long as she can hold out. Obviously Jackie used to be an athlete. Jackie's still running strong. Jack is still looking strong, but she burns out now. Greenhouse is going to get to the finish line first. I think that's the completion of the race. So Green will take victory to loud cheers. It's a Greenhouse victory. Greenhouse victory. Greenhouse teacher very happy indeed, and the Greenhouse supporters really happy. Red now coming around to take the silver. So that's Red House taking silver, and we're looking for the Blue House athlete momentarily to take the bronze medal, and then we'll be going into the big girls. So Blue House still not in as yet, and we're looking for that Blue House athlete momentarily to complete this race. And just about maybe, oh, remember the Blue House athlete pulled up, so I'm not sure if this Blue House athlete will be completing the race. Well, the Blue House athlete has completed the race, so that's very good after his teammate would have conked out. So it's good to see that they completed the race. He's here, gets a big hug, and that's the end of that. So we'll be having now the senior girls. Senior girls race coming up. So we're gonna have the senior girls just about to get started. These are the big girls. It's the same course, the same track, same route. But we'll see what happens here in terms of the speed, because they're bigger. We might have a little bit more speed. There they go, 3 athletes, all of them holding their own for the moment. Pretty much running alongside each other for the moment. So 3 athletes, the 3 of them looking pretty good for the moment until reality check steps in. But for the moment they're looking strong and good. So Blue leading the way, she's taller. Green shorter but holding her own, staying close. So for the moment Blue holding on to a slim lead. Red isn't out of it, but seems to be tiring. Blue still leading, she's the tallest of the lot. But Green is right on her heels and getting some encouragement too. So Green looking the part. Blue looking the part as well. Red seems to be languishing somewhat. And it's Blue House still holding on to that lead. Still holding on to that lead. And names being called, but I'm not picking up the name for the moment. But I can tell you that Blue House is leading. Betaya. Oh, once you hear Betaya, I think that's Barry. No, that's not Barry. There's a Betaya Barry though. Yes, there's a Barry. It's a Barry. So there's Mrs. Barry. Mrs. Barry, former netballer. And I said former with caution. She is making sure that her daughter gets in. Here she comes. She's not running camera today. She's running alongside her daughter, who passes off now. And a little zigzag in the run, but she's pushing along nicely. Just her way of running. But she's getting the momentum to go. And that's the important thing. Green though is chasing hard. Green wants to make a race of this. So Red being closed in by Green, but not quite, because still some distance between the two. And Green already seems to be tiring. Red seems to be holding her own. I think the initial burst has cooled down a lot, but she's still doing a pretty good clip. Still a pretty good clip. Comes downhill now, glances over her shoulder just to make sure that she has a good lead, which she has. And so Green turns the corner now. So it's blue, green, red out of it for the moment. maybe on the next leg might be able to do some catching up. So Red House supporters a little sad for the moment. The horn not blaring as it was earlier. But Blue it is, holding on to that lead and lengthening it too. Green struggling for the moment. Now somebody's encouraging the greenhouse athlete. So still Blue. Green in second. Red has regained some momentum. Blue still in the lead, getting some encouragement, but it's all Blue for the moment. The others would have to try on the next leg, but I think this is a Blue House leg. Sandra has gone for her raincoat. It's a yellow raincoat, but she's still there. A couple of umbrellas are out. Carl would be very disappointed. There's no red in sight. It's Blue in sight. Blue. Pass off the back first. Applause go up. And encouragement. Lots of applause. Blue House athlete. Getting all the encouragement you could ask for. Just about to pass off the baton. Here's the teammate, Blue. Nice smooth strides, hustling. Has a nice hustling run. And not really overexerting herself, looking as if she's in control. And maybe not pushing herself too hard, trying to reserve some energy for later when the other athletes might try to close in. But for the moment, she's still in cruise control. Looks back now to see that the baton has been passed and green and red are chasing after her. I don't know if she's struggling, but I would think that she knows she has a big lead, but for the moment, looks as if she's struggling slightly. So, here she comes, getting some encouragement. Has a videographer of her own who doesn't want her frame to be in my frame, but she wants to have her athlete in her frame. Well, so Blue House still leading. Videographer still trying to get the picture without she getting into my frame. I don't know if she's going to do that because she's right alongside the athlete. But surprisingly, the athlete has stopped. Thought she was in control, but she's tired. Starts to run again. And now Green turns the bend. But Green isn't really pushing. She's struggling somewhat. Red also is struggling as she turns the bend. But they're getting some encouragement as Blue walks again. So Blue is really struggling. She has stopped twice now. And now she pushes out. She has regained some momentum. And she's really pushing hard now. So, interestingly, one of the male athletes is helping. She has stopped again. That's the third time she has stopped. Now, we have lost sight of them. The encouragers and the encouraged. Well, Blue. She can't decide to stop again. Right here, getting the encouragement. She stops again. Even though she's close, she has stopped again. Somebody's going to encourage her. Maybe that's Mommy. Mommy going to try to encourage her to tell her that, well, Mommy has told her that the other athlete is coming, and so she has pushed out. She has pushed out. It's going to be, the baton is going to be passed just about now. Oh, she falls as she gives up the baton. But that seems to have been her last bit of energy. So it's Blue. Still steaming here. Blue leading by a long shot. So here's Blue. Well, Let's see what happens because the baton has been passed in the distance. Green trying to make waves. But for the moment, blue is, you could say, large and in charge. You'd have to say that. A good lead. And it's her race to lose. But I don't think she plans to lose this one. She's holding her own for the moment. Looking pretty strong for the moment. Nice strides. Lengthening the distance between herself and the second placer. And still blue. Red House supporter encouraging blue. On Friday, all of the Red House supporters and all of the Green House supporters will still be supporting blue because there will be a Charlestown Primary thing coming up against the other schools. Being told that is a good job. Green trying to close the gap, but for the moment, still blue. Blue leading the way, holding on to that lead, even though Green hasn't given up as yet. Green is still moving. More encouragement here. More encouragement. As she closes the gap, pick up. Good finish, good strong finish indeed. Look at Miss Fox again. Miss Fox seems to be a big athlete today. Oh, there's Miss Fox, Hyacinth Fox. Raises her hand in the air. And that's the end of that race. So blue has taken this one. And that's a Blue House victory. And then we're gonna see if it's gonna be red or green. Applause going up. Who is it? And there's Miss Paris helping her greenhouse athlete in second place. Very good run indeed. Miss Paris gives her a hug. Could be Mrs. Paris's daughter, I'm not sure.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is her daughter. So Miss Paris making sure that her daughter completed the race. So we have one more athlete to come, and that's the Red House athlete. I don't know how good, how well Bunny's niece did in this one.
No, that is not my niece.
Oh, not in this one. So here's the other athlete coming for Red House.
Oh, yes, it's my niece, Mr. Morton.
Oh, her niece is here.
It's my niece.
Bunny's niece. Bunny Carey celebrating her niece coming in for Red House.
And then my nephew coming up.
Rivers, didn't I tell you?
Yes. Bunny.
Well, Bunny Carey is back in red. Her grandson is on red.
And my nephew is on red. And my
Her nephew is on red. Her niece is on red.
Let's go red.
So it's all ready here for Bunny Carey. So just about to get going. It's the big boys now. Here's where the big boys play. Final category for the day. We have 3 athletes represented here, and they're going to get going momentarily. Final category. Of the blocks, red and blue at the top, struggling for supremacy. Green in third, but for the moment blue has taken a bit of a lead. So blue has a bit of a lead for the moment, and red is in second, green is in third. Blue lengthening that lead, pushing away nicely, and here he comes, Blue House, leading the way for the moment. Red turns the bend, again with his personal videographer, well, just behind, and Blue still leading. Red House supporters asking for the Red House athlete to come on. Red will turn the bend just about now. Blue it is, leading for the moment. So, Blue in the lead. Red struggling in second. Blue seems to be controlling this race for the moment. So there's Blue. Moving along nicely. We have some other athletes in the mix. Athletes who wouldn't have trained much for the year. But they are holding on for the moment. No pulled muscles as yet. There he comes. Blue. Pushing along nicely. Getting a lot of encouragement too. People getting on the track. But it's Blue. Red isn't far behind, so we could have an interesting second leg, I could tell you. We could have a very interesting second leg. Out of the blocks it comes. That looks like Zacky's. Boy, he's pushing away like a jet plane. Can he hold on to that lead though? He's really determined that he will. But I think reality check already clicking in here as he's being chased, but he's holding on for the moment. So that Red House athlete still a distance behind because he would have pushed out quite a bit initially and holding on to that lead. Still doing well. Down the hill he goes. He comes, I should say, down the hill. He's already tiring, but he has a lead. He looks back over his shoulder to try to find out how close the Red House athlete is. And he knows that he still has a bit of a lead. But he's tiring. Can he hold on? He's determined to do just that. Red isn't really pushing. Red is just seemingly holding on to his second place. But Blue, for the moment, holding on in the lead, looking strong. Screams and shouts. Screams and shouts. As I think it's Mommy's right there. And Granddaddy's right there. There he comes. He's pushing out now with all that encouragement. He's not going to let go of this lead now. And he comes through. He's going to take this with ease as he passes off the baton just about now. There he goes. Baton pass. There's a curl man now. Pushing out. He's pushing out nicely. Good, strong, out of the blocks. He's taller than Zacky's, and he's bent on holding on to this lead. The baton just about past now with Red passing off. He has a lot of catching up to do, I can tell you. Can we have some excitement in this race? Can we have a close finish? For the moment it looks one-sided, but I don't think we're gonna have a one-sided race. Something tells me that something has to give. As the Blue House athlete continues to push, certainly has a good lead on. Looks back just to make sure where his competition is. But still leading, still holding on to that lead. So, still Blue. Zacky's set the pace. Red is a distance away. Alec is the name. Still moving along nicely. He's a tall guy. Holding on to that lead. Red House in the distance, trying to challenge. Sanjay still in him to open his legs to stretch out a bit. So, all of the would-be coaches giving some advice as to how he should run. So, Blue House it is. St. Fox has been the ultimate coach for the day, giving some encouragement here. And just about to pass off. The van has gone a distance away. Oh, because green is all the way back here. What's that? I don't know what's happening. Oh, green would have passed off. I'm a little bit, I'm not sure if green really is the leader here or languishing in the rear, but blue is coming along, so I guess this is the leader, green. I think blue is the leader. Green is probably behind. So blue is the leader. Green is out of it, you could say. This is the leader. Blue. Nice strides. He's a tall guy as well. Almost springing his steps as he comes down the hill. So you'll think that green is the leader, but I think green is way in the back. And blue is the leader.
Come on, Blue!
So that case will upset the pace. Lap green. He's gonna lap green. That's the problem with some of these athletes. Lap. So blue in the lead and red a distance away. I think the Red House supporters are a bit quiet right now because they realize that blue is dominating in a big way. Blue dominating in a big way. Zachis has come back to encourage. So he has a lot of energy, Zachis. Whole entourage and Harrison Fobbs again in the mix. So is this the completion of the race? That's the completion of the race. Race completed. And the greenhouse, oh, it's not completed at all. We still have one final baton pass. That greenhouse athlete has to go around to complete the course, I think. And that's what's happening. Green. The race is completed at the far end, but green has to complete the course. I don't know what went wrong, but the greenhouse athletes just fell away. And so he has to go around on his own. No challenge now. He'll settle comfortably for the bronze. So it's all over by the shouting. He's already tired. As he comes alongside the police van. He's blowing really hard too. He's blowing really hard. He's struggling. But he's determined. He wants to complete it to get the points. He has to get the points for his team. As the van is slowed up for him. So we are allowing him to go alongside now instead of the van being in front. So we've lost sight of him there. As chairs go up.
Good sportsmanship!
So here he goes. Race almost completed. Race almost completed. As he comes around. It's all about completing the course, and that's exactly what he's doing. They give him a big round of applause. And well, here he comes. The loud cheers. The fact is, he has completed the race, and that's what it's all about. Sportsmanship, giving him a big hand as he completes the race and gets the bronze medal for his team. That's the end of the race.